Assalamu alaikum dear students. I'm your host Humaira Jahanzeb and I welcome you all to this program of the course series Business Communication. As always, expert Professor Ayub Sheikh is here to assist us throughout the lecture. The topics which we will discuss today are written communication, business writing principles, principles to develop writing skills, business writing purposes, the criteria for effective message, and how to create messages which meet this criteria. I shall now let Professor Ayub Sheikh take over.
Dear students, as we have discussed about the communication, that it is a process of sharing. In process of sharing, we share the information through some different communication types. Actually, dear students, there are 4 types of communication. One is written communication. Second is oral communication, third is non-verbal communication, and fourth type of communication is a visual communication. Today we will discuss important topics of written communication. The written communication is the most widely practiced form in the business world. All commercial or industrial organizations rely on written communication. Various types of letters, memos, and reports are used to transmit information, to present sales appeals, make and follow up inquiries, demand payment, send goodwill messages, and present research work and its results. Actually, success in business depends on effective communication skills. What is the importance of written communication? Actually, to measure the word depends on how effective these are to bring the desired results. If the writer succeeds in influencing, persuading, and creating confidence in the reader and in eliciting positive response, she is of great value of his or her company. She can preserve reputation, promote business, and increase profit. An expert in this art of writing business messages can rise to any height in his or her career. As a business executive, it means communication, and especially written communication, is key to success when someone has expertise that how to write the written messages. Those written messages will appeal the people to do a work in the way the communicator asks. And that will be the success of the communicator, that he or she will increase the not only profit of organization as well as they can generate the good reputation for their organizations. Therefore, we can say that if we want to have career development, we must have expertise in written communication. Therefore, we can say that written communication really is a key to success. Written communication is a time-consuming and complex process, no doubt. The writer must plan the message, arrange the ideas, and write clearly and concisely. However, it is more useful, effective, and dependable. Business activities are mostly conducted through a written communication. Effective written communication within an organization motivates, encourages employees, and make them efficient. And externally, effective written messages promote goodwill, establish reputation, create understanding with customers, suppliers, and other relevant people, save time and money. The ultimate success of a company depends on the letters, reports, telex, and faxes that it sends outside the organization. So, dear students, we can say that when communication moves inside the organization, means within the organization, it motivates or encourages employees. When they will come to know about organization's success, or when they will come to know about organization's present status, and due to that, communication will make them efficient. And similarly, when communication will flow outside the organization, we can say outside the organization means communication with the customers, or we can say that the communication with some other stakeholders, those are directly or indirectly involved in the business of the organizations. Similarly, when communication will flow outside the organization means all the stakeholders, those are directly or indirectly involved in the business of the communication. So when the communicator or the organization is communicating with them, that will again promote the goodwill, or you can say good image of the organization. And by this way, the organization can establish their good reputation. So when communicator will follow some principles of the communication, the objectives will be easily achieved. What are the some principles of the business writing now we are going to discuss? Actually, the rapidly expanding, fast moving business world with its complex problems and situations require quickly dynamic, effective, efficient, and quickly result oriented business messages. Means if you are sending your messages effectively and efficiently, and you are going to use the technology, that will create a good image. In business communication, this aim can be achieved by observing the rules of good writing. In business writing, particularly in a business letters, the language must be correct, the tone courteous, the sentences cohesive, the matter complete, the message clear, and the overall impressions that of confidence, sincerity, and integrity. Dear students, 9 principles of written business messages, that are called also 9 C's. Some authors have devised these principles, as all these principles begin with C and are 9 in numbers. These are known as 9 C's. Principles as observed by professors. Murphy is a well-known communication expert, and he has given a book of Principles of Effective Communication by Herta A. Murphy, and that book also is given to you for this subject. The essential of these principles I am going to discuss with you. The names of these 9 C's: correctness, conciseness, clarity, completeness, concreteness, consideration, courtesy, confidence, and conversational tone. Now, dear students, let me explain all these 9 C's. Number 1 is correctness. Use the correct level of a language while you are communicating to your reader in your written form. You must focus on correct level of your language that you are going to use in your writing. Number 2, include only accurate facts, words, and figures. Number 3, maintain acceptable writing mechanics. Number 4, apply the following some qualities while you are sending message in written form. Avoid switching from third person to second or first person. If you are writing in the third person, don't use I, me, we, us, or you. And one thing more, as a quality you must consider while you are communicating in written form, that is vary your sentence structure. Vary your sentence structure. That must be different in structure form. And finally, there should be proper grammar, punctuation, spelling, and paragraphing. This is very important principle of written message. That is the correctness. The second principle of communication is conciseness. Actually, when you are sending your message to your seniors or your boss, who is very busy in his or her activities as a chief executive, actually, these business executives are dead busy. They don't have a time to go through unnecessary lengthy messages. Now here the writer will be the loser if she writes wordy messages, because it involves more time and money to type and read. Conciseness makes the message more understandable and comprehensible. To achieve conciseness, there are some guidelines you please do understand, and these guidelines will be helpful for you in your writing the messages. Number 1 is omit expressions and avoid unnecessary repetition and wordy expressions, include only relevant facts with courtesy, and organize the message logically and efficiently. The message should be concise, should not be accomplished at the cost of completeness of courtesy. A business writing less is more, spare is fair, lean is a keen. Now the third principle of a written message is clarity. Clarity depends and demands that the business message should be correct, concise, complete, concrete, and with consideration. To accomplish these, observe some tips. Number one, choose short, familiar, and conversational words, proper punctuation, make the writing clear, insert examples, illustrations, tables, graphs, and other visual aids if necessary. Make the message readable and understandable. Make correct sentences and divide the message in properly sized paragraphs. Next principle is completeness. The message should be complete to bring desirable results. It should include everything the reader wants or needs. We should be able to know the reader's background, viewpoints, needs, attitude, and emotions to determine the extent of information to be included in the message. There are some guidelines for completeness. These guidelines are: the message should answer all the questions in the order they were asked, give some additional information if important, ensure to answer 5 W's and any other essentials. 5 W's means 5 questions are as who, what, where, when, why. The business writing should be specific, definite, unambiguous, and vivid rather than vague and general. There are some guidelines lead to concreteness or use specific facts and figures. Avoid words like few, quick, soon. Use action verbs. You can accomplish it by using active voice. The message should have a vivid and image building words. To achieve it, makes comparisons and use figurative language and concrete words. The next and sixth step is consideration. Consideration can be achieved through some guidelines. These are: emphasize you instead of I or we. Your message should convey truth. Stress the positive, pleasant aspects of facts. Offer a service of value to the reader. The next and seventh step is courtesy. Courtesy may be achieved by some tips, and these tips are: be truly tactful, thoughtful, and appreciative. Omit expressions that annoy, distress, or disparage. Answer all you mail promptly and grant apologize candidly. Here, when the writer or communicator will avoid the use of the painful words, he will make good clients or customers. So it is very much important that you must use the pleasant, thoughtful, truly tactful, or you must be a more appreciative. So by this way you will be a good communicator and you will achieve all your objectives. The second last principle of communication is confidence. Your letter will be more successful when you show confidence in yourself, confidence in your reader, and confidence in your message. Confidence in communication creates positive tone. Confidence in yourself is produced when you believe in the fairness of your decisions and actions. You need not be defensive or show your reader that you are decisive, positive, confident, and straightforward rather than different, indecisive, and negative. So you have to develop the confidence in yourself and confidence in your reader. If you lack in confidence, some undesirable results will tend to occur. And these are: number one, you may find yourself unable to write or speak. Number two, you may not represent your case strongly, or you may throw a bad impression on others, and as a backlash, it will damage the goodwill of the firm. So, dear students, you can understand that if you lack confidence, you will lose your business and you will create the bad image for your firm. So, you must have a confidence while you are communicating. And ninth principle of communication is conversational tone. Your letter should read as if you are talking to a reader. The tone should be comfortable, natural, and conversational, and it should be unpretentious. Now, here to accomplish a conversational tone, you must have to understand some tips, and these are: use proper syntax, be straightforward, keep the paragraph small, and avoid vague writings. And also, you must vary your words. Non-conversational tone will bring again some bad results. For examples, the language may become formal, making communication ineffective and weak, and the readers or the audience may get bored, inattentive, or disturbed. Now, dear students, we will discuss about business writing purposes. Means, what are the purposes of business writing? Actually, people put things in writing to create a record, to convey complex data, to make things convenient for the readers, to save money, and to convey their own messages more effectively. Internal documents go to people inside the organization. External documents go to audience outside: clients, customers, suppliers, stakeholders, the government, the press, the general public. Three basic purposes of business communication are to inform, to request or persuade, and to build goodwill. Most messages have more than one purpose. Poor writing costs even more since it wastes time, wastes efforts, and goodwill. Good communication meets the needs of the writer or speaker, the organization, and the audience. The criteria for effective message, we can say that good business writing meets 5 basic criteria. It is clear, complete, and correct. It saves the reader's time and it builds goodwill. Now, in criteria, the first is clear, the meaning the reader gets and the meaning the writer intended. The reader doesn't have to guess. Is complete, all of the reader's questions are answered. The reader has enough information to evaluate the message and act on it. Is correct, all of the information in the message is accurate. The message is free from errors in punctuation, spelling, grammar, word order, and sentence structure. Number 4, saves the reader's time. The style, organization, and visual impact of the message help the reader to read, understand, and act on the information as quickly as possible. Builds goodwill. The message presents a positive image of the writer and his or her organization. It creates and treats the reader as a person, not a number. It cements a good relationship between the writer and the reader. Now, dear students, I am going to share with you about some principles to develop your writing skills. Irrespective of your age factor, you improve your writing skills if you want to. Writing ability is the key to success in the modern business. There are some tips will help you develop your writing skills. Number 1 is learn grammar. Knowledge of grammar is essential for writing, speaking, understanding, and listening. Therefore, to be a good communicator, the first principle for the writing skill improve is learn grammar. Then you must develop your reading habits. Reading helps you in expanding your understanding and knowledge. You become accustomed to the correct structure of the sentence and acquainted with the use of the right words at the right place. Read newspapers, magazines, and journals regularly. You must have a standard dictionary. Whenever there is a word whose meanings you don't know, look up the dictionary and memorize its meanings or meaning. Develop your writing skills or develop your writing habits. Regularly write diary, notes, short stories, articles, or memorandums, or construct several sentences using a single difficult word. Or in some other way, we can say develop your imagination. Without imagination, you cannot write no matter how great vocabulary you have. You can develop your imagination by reading, listening, and by observing. Or in some other words, we can say improve your knowledge of the subject. If you lack the knowledge of your subject, you are unable to write even a single line. So these are some principles to develop your writing skills. Follow all these principles to improve your writing skills, or you will improve your skills to develop the messages and to generate the confidence and to generate the goodwill and profit for your business.
Thank you, Professor Sheikh. Dear students, we have come to the end of our program. The topics which we discussed today are written communication, business writing principles, the principles to develop writing skills, business writing purposes, criteria for effective message, and how to create message which meet the criteria. I hope that you will study these topics in detail so as to understand them better. We shall meet again in the next program with some more informative topics. Until then, take care and Allah Hafiz. This program was recorded in the Institute of Educational Technology, Allama Iqbal Open University. Recording engineer, Dilpazir Khan. Editing engineer, Ibrarul Hassan. Host, Humaira Jahan Zeb. Producer, Shehzad Ali Raki.